Welcome to another unit in this Excel course. This time I'm going to talk about macros. Well, macros, that's like a small program which you can call if you wanted to repeat what you actually did. Well, macros could either be your own VBA code, so your own program, or if you're not so used to writing your own code, you could use a neat feature of Excel. So for all of this, you would need the developer's menu. That's a part here. It could be that for you it's not activated, so you have to go to options, and then there customize ribbon and activate this developer menu. So if you have this, you can open this. Then here on the left, you see everything related to macros. Either you can directly switch to your Visual Basic window. We're going to visit this in a moment. Or you can use the macro window. Macro just lists all the available macros. At this point we see we don't have a specific macro. So either we have to program this ourselves, or we could use the record macro function. This actually allows me to do something in Excel and then take a look how this would translate into VBA code. So if, for example, I want to know how with VBA I can erase a row, I could just click on record macro. I give it a name like erase one row. I could also assign this a shortcut key. Doesn't matter here in this context. And I can select where I want to store this, in a workbook, so in this workbook, new workbook, or specific macro workbook. Well, in this case, makes most sense to keep this here where I'm actually working with it. So I click OK. Now, okay, the name actually needs to be without any spaces. So now this works. Now he is actually recording. So whatever I'm doing, he will remember. This means even if I'm clicking here, selecting this cell, he records this. If I'm selecting this row, he will record this. If I now right click and go to delete, he will record this as well. So now I could click stop. Now he stops. Now whatever I'm doing here, he no longer considers. If I go to macros, I see now here there's my erase one row. If I use this, I see he erases exactly the second row, because before I also selected the second row and erased it. What I can also see here, if I go to undo, so here I just pressed Command and Z, or even if I try up here, I cannot undo something like this. So that's where this is different from what I did before. I cannot undo if I run or do changes via macros. Okay, this comment aside, what about the code underlying all of this? So here I can click on Visual Basic, get my Visual Basic view. Then I can go down here to the part Modules, click on Module 1, and I see what he actually did. So this is the part where he selected the whole row. And then with the selection, he deleted the selection. In this case, because he saw I didn't do anything, he didn't in particular remember the select specific cells. So here just he selected the specific row and deleted this by shifting this upwards. So whenever I want to repeat this, I can use this code for erasing. This is here the second row. Well, that's a neat way to also learn how to use VBA. So whenever you know how to do something in Excel, but not in VBA, you can just use the record macro function and just have him record this. Take a look here in the corresponding module, corresponding macro program. Take a look how he actually does this. Well, that's an easy way to build your own macros. Well, that's already all I wanted to talk about in the context of this unit. So we know what macros are. They are small Visual Basic programs. We know that if we click here, we get an overview over all the different macros. And if we know what we want to do in Excel, we can just click on Record macro, do what we want him to do, and just after this, stop, take a look at the Visual Basic code and now how this works in Visual Basic. Well, that's then the end to this unit. So if you want to see more, either on working with macros, VBA programmation, or on Excel in general, feel free to visit the rest of this course or have a look in the corresponding playlist. I say goodbye and see you next time.